Hello. So we're gonna do a quite quick Moma report. The Museum of Modern Art, or Moma, is a museum based in New York which features pieces from Van Gogh, Picasso, Salvador Dali, or René Magritte. It opened in 1929 in Midtown Manhattan. Sorry. For me, the Moma is a perfect example of what I don't like in the United States. For me, it's just like an obnoxious attempt to create a rivalry between European museum and the American ones. It's also a pointless attempt to artificially create and install an American artistic culture that they don't really much have. More precisely, American artistic culture can't really be shut in a museum without putting useless pieces of art in a place that they don't belong to, such as Jacob Lawrence's work, which is for me an insult to black people living in America. It's a lack of knowledge to put as a relevant black American artist Jacob Lawrence, because he's not. His art is irrelevant and not that interesting when you're starting to put a racially innocent eye on it. Why putting it in a MoMA, you could ask? Because the MoMA won't tell me that they didn't find a really relevant black American artist currently living at this time and period. America don't want to assume their past and are permanently jealous of our artistic culture. Another problem I have with the MoMA is the fact that the museum promotion is a joke. Really, it's a joke. For real. The museum loves to brag about its modern art, but also being modern as a museum. And first of all, maybe that could be right in New York, but if you are just a little concerned about online museum, you would see that there is a lot of real modern museum in America, or Japan, or even France. We could talk about the Smithsonian, which has an online version of his museum. Not a pretty good one, but it has one. Or the website anacooljapan.com, which offers a real good online Japan museum experience. Finally, we could talk about the Lego house in Denmark, which is maybe the most interesting live method you could find nowadays to discover artistic pieces. So yeah, I think the MoMA is obnoxious, pretty much too American for me and really ridiculous. The only thing I might like about it is its visual identity, which is great and inventive. And for the record, I don't know what you were expecting about a video of us on the MoMA. I can be asked to put effort in something I hate as much as this museum, and I won't take 10 hours of editing for this shameful and arrogant pile of ignorance that is the Museum of Modern Art. I don't really like New York. I think people in New York are obnoxious, arrogant, and shameful. So yeah, I can't really work on a film like this because for me it's just like not what I like. So yeah, maybe they have some great pieces like La Nuit étoilée de Van Gogh or Les Amants de René Magritte, but in another place they will put some chairs from no designers no one cares about just because they're Americans. And for me, that's the dilemma with the MoMA. The MoMA wants you to think that it's a great museum, but most of all, that America has a great history. We need to change the way the MoMA give us art because the pieces are good, but the way they treat the piece, just like saying that Jacob Lawrence is interesting because he's a good point of view on the black American treatment they have during the 60s of the 50s is a bad thing because if you just have some knowledge, you should know that there is a lot of more relevant black American artists at the period of time that could be featured in a really great museum if they decided to really treat the subject as it is, a subject, and not just an excuse to make the America seems like a real great country that it isn't. So yeah, I think that's all on my report on the Museum of Modern Art, the MoMA.